bayobozi mu nzego zitandukanye z'igihugu cyacu muri hano, banyacyubahiro muteraniye aha, Banyarwanda mwese, abahagarariye ibihugu n'imiryango mpuzamahanga hano, ndahera kubanza ndabashuhuje kwanza, ndagira ngo nshimire abaminisitiri bashya bamaze kutugezaho indahiro. Ntabwo nshidikanya ubushake bwabo, ubushobozi n'ibindi bijyanye no gukorera igihugu, abanyarwanda uko bikwiye. Ndagira ngo mbasezeranye kandi ko ubundi abakorera igihugu iyo bashatse koroshya imirimo iroroha ikagenda neza, iyo bashatse kubiremereza nabwo biraremera bikavamo ibibazo. Biremera cyane cyane iyo abantu bitekerezaho kurusha uko batekereza imirimo y'igihugu cyangwa aho bakwiriye kuba bakorana nabo, bakorera kugira ngo twese ibintu bigende neza, dutere imbere. Ariko nabasezeranya ko ubundi ubufatanye burahari, igihe rero bazaba biteguye gufatanya n'abo basanze n'abandi n'abazaza, ibintu bizagenda neza. Aba ku buryo bw'umwihariko barahiye uyu munsi, bagiye muri minisiteri y'ubuzima, minisiteri ifite uruhare rukomeye birumvikana mu buzima bw'abantu, ariko noneho no mu majyambere y'igihugu. Iyo ubuzima bw'abantu bumeze neza, bashobora gukora ibyo bashinzwe, bityo igihugu kigatera imbere. Ibi turabizi duhereye ku bintu byinshi by'amateka n'ibyo tugenda duhura nabyo, ibyorezo bitandukanye, harimo ndetse n'icyo tukirimo n'ubu ngubu kijyanye na COVID-19. Ntabwo ari byo byonyine, hari ibindi byinshi. Ubu rero ndibwira ko abamaze kurahira bazadukorera imirimo uko bikwiye, tugakorana nabo, natwe dukora iyacu, tugahangana n'ibyo bibazo bitari bike, ku buryo tubitsinda tugatera imbere. Usibye ibyo rero ntari butindeho cyane, nagira ngo mbonereho uyu mwanya wo kugira ibindi mvuga bijyanye n'imibereho y'igihugu cyacu, bitari iby'ubuzima gusa twavugaga mu kanya, nabyo ariko bigira ingaruka ku buzima mu buryo bundi butandukanye. Ariko ni politiki muri rusange, aho tuva, aho turi n'aho tujya. Buri gihe kizana ibyo ngibyo bitatu: wibuka aho uvuye, umenya aho uri, ureba n'aho ujya. Nagira ngo mbonereho umwanya mbanze nshimire mwese abayobozi bari hano, hari abaminisitiri, hari abadepite bakora mu nteko y'igihugu cyacu, ab'ubutabera n'abandi, ndetse n'abayobozi b'inzego zo hejuru turi kumwe hano. Uburyo dukomeje gufatanya kubaka igihugu cyacu, ndetse ibyo tugeraho muri ubwo bufatanye no kubaka igihugu bikadushoboresha no gufatanya n'abandi muri iyi ntara ya Afurika, uhereye no muri aka karere dutuyemo k'uburasirazuba, kugira ngo twese dushobore kugenda duhangana n'ibibazo no gukemura ibibazo bitwugarije. Niyo mpamvu nshaka kubamenyesha ko usibye ko twese dusanzwe tuzi imirimo, ingabo, polisi by'igihugu cyacu, ari ingabo ari polisi bikorwa muri Mozambique, bikorwa Central African Republic, bikorwa South Sudan n'ahandi, mu buryo butandukanye. Hari ibikorwa bikorwa mu bufatanye na United Nations, Loni. Hari ibikorwa hagati y'ibihugu byacu n'ibindi bihugu nka Mozambique, dukorana n'igihugu cya Mozambique. Muri Central African Republic dufite uburyo bubiri: ni ugukorana na Loni no gukorana n'icyo gihugu, byombi birabangikiranye. South Sudan dukorana na UN. Ibi byose bimwe ntabwo turi igihugu gikize na busa, dukize ku bindi, ntabwo dukize mu buryo bw'ubukungu, ariko mu mutima n'ubushake turakize pe. Niyo mpamvu dushobora gukemura ibibazo byacu, dukomeza gushakira umuti kuko ntibijya bishira, ariko tukagira n'uruhare no gufatanya n'abandi kugira ngo dufatanye dukemure ibibazo byabo, ndetse akenshi bishobora kuba bifitanye isano n'ibibazo byacu, bityo tukatera intambwe. Nko muri Mozambique, nagira ngo mbivugire hano kuko hari abantu bajya bagira confusion. Muri Mozambique dufiteyo ingabo zirenga n'abapolisi barenga 2,000, ndetse bigera bivanze hafi 2,500. Ejo hashize twongereyo izindi ngabo, bazongereyo kubera ko kuva twagera Mozambique hari ibibazo byinshi byakemutse dufatanije abenegihugu ba Mozambique. Hari n'ibindi bigikomeza ibibazo kubera ko ntabwo twari ahantu hose, ntabwo twashobora gukora ahantu hose. Hari abandi nabo bafashije, hari Samim, ingabo zavuye muri Southern Africa nazo zifite ibyo zikora muri Mozambique. Abantu bose bafite ibice bakoreramo, ibice dukoreramo. Navuga ko ibibazo twabikemuye bikarangira, ariko kubera ko abo twari duhanganye nabo bagiye bimuka bakajya mu bindi bice bya Mozambique, ntabwo twari kugera ahantu hose, ntabwo byashoboka tunafatanyije n'aba Mozambique, ariko n'abo bandi nabo bafite ibyabo bakora. Biragaragara ko rero aba terrorists bo muri Mozambique bagiye bimuka bakava aho twakoreraga bakajya ahandi. Twumvikanye n'aba Mozambique ko tugiye kubakurikirana aho bari aho ngaho, so nibyo tugiye gukora. Niyo mpamvu twongereye izo ngabo, ariko izo ngabo tuzongera kuva twagera Mozambique kugira ngo bibe kiriya. Nta gihugu na kimwe, nta muryango n'umwe uraduha n'urumiya rwo gukoresha muri ako kazi. Ni amafaranga yanyu, amafaranga y'igihugu dukoresha muri bya bice dufite, tugabana n'abandi, turasangira tukabikoresha. Icyo nashaka kuvuga nicyo nabashimira. Hari abazafasha, hari abatubwira ko bazafasha, turategereje. Nibadufasha rwose tuzabibashimira kandi birakwiye, ahubwo byari bikwiye kuba byarabaye kera, ariko it's never too late to help. Tuzabibashimira, ariko nagira ngo icyo kibazo kive mu nzira, kuko hari abibwira ko hari abanyirije amafaranga hasi bakatwishyura, hari abageze bate. Nta n'umwe. Niba ndabivuga, niba atari byo ndaza kwifuza kubona wampakanya, ariko nagira ngo ibyo bibanze bive mu nzira. Twatanze uburyo buke dufite, ndetse dutanga n'ubuzima, kuko abajya kurwana mu ntambara nka ziriya hari abantu babigwamo. Ubona uvuga ngo mu gihugu cyacu twatanze ubuzima bw'abana bacu, gufatanya n'abana ba Mozambique, tunatanga n'amikoro yacu make dufite. Ubwo rero nagira ngo mbashimire ibyo, kuba nubwo ntavuga ngo twabanje kwicara tujya inama twemeranya ko tubikora, ndabashimira ko twabikoze mugasanga ari byo namwe mukabyemera. Ndagira ngo mbandanye nanone muri Central African Republic. Nabwiye ko hari uburyo bubiri, hari gukorana na UN, hari no gukorana n'igihugu bwacyo, bilateral, hari na UN frameworks dukoreramo. muri bilateral nabyo ni kimwe nk'ibyo bya Mozambique ku ruhande nabyo amikoro yacu twasangiye n'abanyafurika bagenzi bacu nabyo ntabwo dutaka cyane ngo ntabwo abantu badufashije ariko bashatse gufasha bafasha ariko dukorana n'aba Central African Republic ku buryo byabahaye agahenge bakabona amahoro ndetse niyo mpamvu bashoboye kugera amatora y'ubushize iyo tutajyayo ntabwo baba barayagize wenda nta nubwo iriya leta ibiriho cyangwa iba yaragiyeho nta nubwo n'uriya mujyi wabo wa Bangi nawe ushobora kuba utari mu maboko yabo wari uri mu maboko y'abandi abo bari bahanganye nabo ariko icyatumye tubikora muri UN aho dufite ingabo naho ziri hariya muri Central African Republic dukurikiza amategeko ya UN ntabwo twajya kunyuranya n'ibyo UN dukoreramo ishaka ifite uburyo bwayikora ntabwo nirwa mbitindaho kubinenga ariko ndavuga uko bimeze ariko ibya bilateral byatumye byihuta ibintu kuko ibyo nitwe tubigena iyo wigenera ukora ibintu uko ubyumva uko ubishaka uko ubona bikwiye iyo ukorera mu bandi cyangwa aribo bakuyobora nabo bakora uko bashaka ko babona ibintu akenshi hari ubwo biba binyuranye bitajyana twe rero twabwiye ingabo ziri muri UN gukurikiza amategeko ya UN hanyuma ingabo zacu nazo twoherejeyo twazihaye amabwiriza zigomba gukurikiza zikorana na leta ya Central African Republic ibyo biratandukanye ariko ndibwira ko byuzuzanya ibyo nabyo bimaze igihe nabyo bigenda bifata inzira gusangira ni uburyo bwinshi tuzi gusaranganya cyane nicyo kitugejeje aha ingabo ziri muri bilateral muri Central African Republic usibye ko zishyurwa n'u Rwanda imishahara yabo bashyira ku konti zabo hano bakazayasanga ariko banasaranganya n'abari muri UN ihemba kurusha uko bahembwa hano abandi niba UN bishyurwa buri muntu yishyurwa amadolari 100 hamwe abo wishyuwe gukorera muri UN ikindi gice agasaranganya agaha mugenzi we gukorera muri bilateral mwari mubizi bita gusaranganya rero kuko tubaho twebwe ntabwo turi high maintenance we are low maintenance people low maintenance countries we do more for less and that's our culture we want to continue ibyo nabyo reka mbishyire iruhande ndashaka kugaruka ku kindi kibazo cy'abaturanyi dufite na Kongo ntabwo intwarira umwanya gusubizanya batuvuga cyangwa tuvuga uko bashatse ariko nagira ngo mbonereho uyu mwanya ngire ibyo mvuga bibasubiza bibwira abantu abo aribo bose bagifitemo uruhare muri iki kibazo. Nzongera hashize igihe nanone, niyo mpamvu nshaka kuvuga byinshi byo nabitse bimaze igihe ntasubiza. Ndabivuga uyu munsi, nzongera hashize igihe, ariko ubwo ndizera ko abo mbabwira bumva. Ikibazo cya Kongo kirimo ibintu byinshi. Kongo, u Rwanda, M23, FDLR, MONUSCO, international community, envoys, ibintu byose. Turi benshi bakwiye kuba bafite ibyo dukora. Ariko uko mvuza twese uko mbivuze, uko byari bikwiye. First of all, it should be a shame to all these people that we are so many, we have so much in terms of means. We claim to want to resolve the problem. It's actually simple to resolve, in my opinion, but it never gets resolved for decades. And of Congolese problems, of the problems of DRC, before that, Zaire, and so on and so forth. I'm just talking about the problems of the last few decades. I'm not going into 60s, I'm not going into late 50s. No, I'm just talking about the last nearly 30 years now. You would wonder, I'm sure people should be asking themselves, how can these problems that relate to Rwanda, that relate to DRC, that relate to all these groups I'm talking about, that relate to the whole region, that relate to the powerful countries that so much talk about humanitarian crisis and human rights and all kinds of things, and really speak up for wanting to resolve all this. Sit with this kind of a situation and just keep massaging it and blaming everybody else except them for these problems. And it's unfortunate that while I'm saying I've given a short list of parties concerned, countries and so on, but it has become so convenient for long that all problems are put on the shoulders heavily on the shoulders of Rwanda. Rwanda is always the culprit in all this. It's not FDLR, it's not the government of Congo that should be responsible for its problems and people. It's not the UN, it's not the powerful countries, mainly America, UK, France, etc. No, it's Rwanda. It's Rwanda all the time. And it's M23 because of Rwanda. So it still comes back to Rwanda. It's not FDLR, the remnants of people who carried out genocide here. It's not the government of Congo, for many reasons. Reasons being, I started by saying here that we don't have means. Well, but we have ways. We don't have means, but we have ways. But we don't have means. And that's why, in comparison, Rwanda and Congo, there is more, much more, much, much more. Congo offers to these people than Rwanda. So naturally, these people must tread carefully when they are dealing with the Congo's problems. They must even assist Congo to alleviate their pain by transferring the blame they should have, put somewhere else. And the easiest place to put their blame is Rwanda. You know, kuna proverb. Hapa mnajua Kiswahili? Mnaelewa? Kwa Kiswahili shamba ya ndizi, mnaelewa? Kuna migomba. Na kuna majani. Migomba yani banana stem. Majani ikiwa banana leaves. Kwa migomba, kuna migomba mifupi na migomba mirefu. Kwa sababu Waafrika wanatumia sana majani ya migomba kufanya kazi nyingi mbalimbali, kupika chakula, nini. Wakienda kwa shamba la ndizi, ile majani wanayokata ni yale ya migomba mifupi. Ndio. Yeah, when they go to banana plantation, because Africans use a lot of many things they use banana leaves for. The banana leaves they cut are the banana leaves of short banana stems. Ile mrefu sana wanaacha. Sasa hao watu wanafikiria sisi ni migomba mifupi. Kwa sababu ya geography yani si nchi ndogo tu. Au resources, minerals, vitu vingine, wale wana vingi sana, sisi hatuna. So they would rather go for the short, lakini bwana wanajidanganya kweli. Sisi kwa ufupi wetu hatuna means, lakini tuna ways. Na tuko imara, hujajua, hujui, huwezi kuelewa imara tulivyo. Those who think they can keep picking, cutting our banana leaves because we are short stems, boy, you don't know how much you have deceived yourselves. Yes, they even say we are accused of stealing the wealth, the minerals of Congo. One thing we are not, and that's what makes us what I have just said. We are not thieves. We work for what we have and what we get. In fact, we are where we are, I think, some decent progress, but not really too much. We still have to do a lot. By the way, also on account of the support we get from these people who accuse us or who accept that we actually do that, meaning these powerful countries. They actually give us a lot of support. And if they took time to scrutinize, because they support other countries as well, including the Congo that we are accused so much for what's happening there. They will find, they will not find a place where we give value for their money than Rwanda. They will not. I can bet on this. For every dollar they spend on us, or they support us with, we will show more for it than anybody they give their money. And it is deliberate. It's not by accident. It's who we are. It's who we want to be. And nobody will take it away from us. But when it comes to trying to cut the banana leaves because we are short stems, they can, or they will discover that we also provide value for money. meaning it will actually be costly for them. Now, let me add to that. For the FDLR and the affiliate groups, Rudurunana and so on and so forth. And by the way, affiliate groups means also there are some individuals, either whom we have here in prison, who were brought from outside, or others who masquerade around as so-called the opposition, whom we have just left free to mess up themselves until some point when, if need be, to take care of them, take care of them. But why do you think this problem, for example, of FDLR, has been there for the last nearly 30 years? Why? Because you think it's a too complicated a problem to resolve? No. I'm beginning to believe something I never believed. That I suspected, but I had no proof and I don't want to believe it. But it's so many years that if you can't find another explanation, then you have to believe it. You can't but not believe that actually somebody, somewhere, wishes this problem to be there forever. Around it, so many things are played. One, it is maybe to check these stubborn troublemakers, but short banana stems. It is to check them. There's always something to. So it's maintained there. And then it spins around for the crimes associated with these people of our history, of our tragedy in Rwanda in 1994, the history before that. They start associating us with the very crimes of these people. It's like they exist because we are doing something wrong. In actual fact, maybe we share in the crime. We share in the crime they committed. So in other words, for the perpetrators and victims of tragic history, we are actually the same. There is no difference. Isn't it the whole narrative since 1994? How we in this country are known for stifling freedoms of people, we are, we violate human rights. Then sometimes when they're talking about the violating of human rights, they point to the people who are here, whom they have labeled opposition leaders, who are associated with this history, that we are violating their rights. Can you imagine? The very people who are associated with the genocide, who are here, some of them, many of them outside there, whom they have even sometimes refused to try for their crimes because they can't return them to Rwanda because Rwanda's justice and human rights, and if they return them to Rwanda, they will be denied their justice, their freedom, their human rights. And then we respond to these people and say, okay, if you can't give them to us, here is the evidence. You try them in your courts because you are better than us. And they still don't do that. So what does that mean? What would that mean for anybody who wants to think? And you don't want me to try them for reasons you are giving, that whether false or true. But then how about you? How about you trying them? What's wrong with you? You mean you're questioning your own justice system as well? But on top of that, they still come and point fingers at us, But sometimes there is poetic justice that goes on. Some of these people who refuse to send these people back to us, and we have been begging and showing them the crimes, and they have refused, and in some cases, these people have gone ahead and committed crimes where these people, are holding them in their countries. And then prompted by that, they quickly now send them to us. Because there is a case where somebody was being accused and, we were asking how these people, then these people killed somebody else in one of these countries outside who had refused to surrender that person to us. Kills the person, then I think another case raped somebody, and then prompted by that, they start processing to send these people to us. So the first crime of the genocide they carried out here was not bad enough, but they are reminded by somebody violating the rights of one of their citizens. This is what I'm calling sometimes poetic justice. So, if for the last 28 years, this problem has been there, and for the last 20-something, 22 maybe, the UN force was sent to Congo to deal with this situation. On top of the list being to deal with FDLR and these other genocidal groups. And there is not a single day, not a single day that I know of, maybe you do, that these forces ever fought FDLR to try and remove them. But they've been so keen to fight the notorious, or famous, I don't know, M23. That's what happened in 2012. And we warned these people, we were warning them, and saying, you are dealing with half the problem. The other half will come back to haunt all of us. This is not a military issue. This is not a problem you want to resolve by force of arms. It's largely a political problem you need to attend to. You maybe help the Congolese government to address this problem. They ignored us. Fine. 10 years after that, the problem has come to haunt all of us. But of course, the easy way, again, they have, is blame Rwanda for it. That solves the problem. That's where we are now. But why wasn't this problem resolved for the last 10 years, honestly? Why wasn't it? Those M23, those who fled and came to Rwanda, we put them, we cantoned them in a camp in a former sorry? In Ngoma, former Chibungo. We disarmed them, we gave arms back to Congo. They took the arms. I'm talking about facts here. I'm not. Now, processes started of talking to these people. What do we do with them? Where do we do, and we always gave access to the officials from Congo to go and talk to these people every time. They came here like 20 times. The last I heard of was when they said they wanted the representatives of these people and others. The majority of them went to Uganda. There was a bigger group. And they said they wanted to talk to them, to their representatives, those groups here and those groups in Uganda. They took them to Congo, to Kinshasa actually, supposedly to talk to them and resolve their problems. These people they took spent months in a hotel where they put them. And for those months, not a single government official visited them or came to talk to them. Until they decided to, I don't know whether to escape or do what, and left. Now, the problem comes back to be Rwanda's problem. When they started fighting, don't ask me how or where they came from, but we have had a moment to discuss this openly in meetings of heads of state in Nairobi, and it was clearly demonstrated to the Congolese leaders what had been going on. And the only thing they kept telling us was, no, these people must go back where they came from. And then you ask them, say, where did they come from? or what time do you mean? Because even if you assumed they came from here, where did they come from when they came here? And I asked one simple question in the meeting. I said, we would be wasting our time if we do not answer this question and we continued discussing this issue. I said, one simple question. Are these people we are dealing with or having to deal with Congolese or Rwandese or Ugandans? Fortunately, the Congolese leaders answered that they are actually Congolese. Then I said, okay, now we can have a conversation. Because my impression at first was that you were saying that these are Rwandese because they speak Kinyarwanda. Because they are Rwandophones, I hear some people call them that, but they are Congolese. These are citizens of Congo. They have their ancestral homes and things in Congo, not here. Here they are refugees. We have over 80,000 of them as refugees in the camps. So, how do we deal with this issue? How does this issue become Rwanda's issue? Just being associated for convenience? And I can see those translators, I think some people have, I wanted them to hear this. I can see some people having problems of these headphones. Can you please sort out that problem? Maybe there are those who don't want to hear, that's a different issue. But I want those who want to hear to be able to listen to me, to be able to do so sort out their problems, please. Nonetheless, I will continue. For those who want to hear and for those who don't want to hear. That's what we always do. There are many people we talk to knowing that they are not listening, but we have to do a duty of letting them know so that there is no excuse about So, this problem, in my view, is not too difficult to address, but you have to do the right thing. I want to remind people that they have to think about how to address the FDLR problem. It's been there for too long. Forget about stories being created around it. They say, no, they are no longer there. They came to Rwanda, and then we sent them back. And yeah, but on record also of the UN, there are those who have been repatriated over time, and we receive them and reintegrate them. That's why there is that center, is it in Motobo? They are on record. The records are there, very clear. So that problem has to be looked at. The other problem is the so-called M23 or other groups. By the way, there are over 100 groups, rebel groups. Did you know that? In Eastern Congo. Armed fighting for all kinds of things, I don't know, some of them. So they can't all be existing because of Rwanda. Certainly not. If it was because of Rwanda, maybe they would be together. So that problem needs to be addressed in their right context, and those problems are Congolese problems, they are not Rwanda's problems. But we can help because we are interested in a stable neighbor. Peace in Congo or Eastern Congo is peace for us. So we can't be questioned about, or our desire to have a peaceful country and region cannot be questioned, honestly. We can't. Even for those who accuse us of stealing minerals, if that were to be true, I think we can do better still by having peace. Yes. Because when you have peace, then you don't even need to steal. You would actually have, you know. I was talking to some very senior people recently from somewhere who were saying, the Congolese are saying we steal their colta, we steal their gold. And then I asked them one question. There was many leaders. I said, there is something I know. Some people come from Congo, whether they smuggle or go through the right channels, they bring minerals, but most of it goes through here, does not stay here. It goes to Dubai, goes to Brussels, goes to Tel Aviv, goes to Russia. It used to go to Russia. I don't know whether it still goes there. It goes everywhere. So I was asking them, I said, are you on the list of those who are stealing minerals of Congo? Because these things, they end up with you. For us, we are now, they go through our country. But they are accusing us of stealing Congo's minerals. How about the destination? Why don't you talk about it? And if we actually deployed everything, every effort, and stopped this thing flowing, the accusation would be even worse. Yeah, they would be seeing no more gold coming through here. Going to them, then they say, these people, they are causing problems. So what are we supposed to do, honestly? And then there is this famous thing that has, I've heard of hate speech. I was saying some of the things that need to be paid attention to. One of them, the hate speech that goes on from Eastern Congo to the western end. And then recently, some very powerful people who have some good ideas of how to resolve the problem started saying, hate speech must be stopped on both sides. Does anyone understand what that means? well, for me, which both sides. So there is hate speech in Congo and there is hate speech in Rwanda. This is what they are trying to say. Has it been going on? Have you been involved in hate speech, you people? You know, and that these are people supposed to be helping to resolve the problem. So they must give part of the blame to Congo, and another part must be carried by Rwanda, even if both of us have not been doing the same thing. So I'm saying it is simple to resolve, because all it needs is just avoiding being neither here nor there. You have to address the problem as it is. You have to deal with the facts. You have to deal with evidence. You have to deal with the right thing to do. As for how our name will keep coming up, which I can't prevent one way or the other, our name will always come up. Not because we have solicited or created or in any way, shape or form war to happen. We never ask for war at all. We don't create grounds for conflict, not at all. We are interested in rebuilding and building and building until we are where we want to be. We know what war means. I have had some people, interviews and FT in London or France 24, France or TV5 or something like that, and somebody saying, I don't rule out a war with Rwanda. When I used to talk to this person who keeps saying this, I used to advise, humbly tell him that we are actually tired of war. We need to be working together and creating peace between our two countries. And because if you are looking for somebody who knows a thing about war, you come to me, please. I know something about it. And I know how bad it is. And by that, I know how you cannot have anything better than peace. So this problem can be resolved. If one country headed for elections next year is not trying to create grounds for an emergency so that elections don't take place. Well, not that he won the first elections, as we know. So if he's trying to find another way of having the next election is postponed, then I would rather he use the other excuses, not us, because I don't think I think we have really a lot of problems of our own. We don't need to add other people's problems. But what is surprising is that you will help me to try and to understand that. I don't know how it comes that everybody, the opposition, I think putting the blame on Rwanda, which the whole world seems buys them votes. Why should having problems with Rwanda and votes for people? I see politics heating up in DRC, and everyone who has something to say, whether it is whoever, just keep saying, oh, Rwanda has invaded, Rwanda has invaded. Since when? And if you think also that we have, or that we are there, even if I were to believe it, I would still proceed with asking myself a question. I say, why? Why would Rwanda be in Congo? Maybe you would find an answer. Because there is a possibility that can take us there. That means, dear, that's what you are saying. For example, let me say like this last time when, you remember in 2019 when FDLR invaded and attacked Kinigi and nearly shut down that place where tourists go. And by the way, we started seeing some messages. Don't go to the northern part of Rwanda, there is insecurity from all over the world. Maybe this is what some people actually want. So we cleaned up that mess, and then this year, first half and mid, you remember what went on, the bombings that took place, being fired from across with heavy artillery into that place. And then, so that is a very attractive for us to actually cross the border. There's no doubt about it. I've been, we asked DRC several times. I asked the president to allow us to work with their people to actually deal with the FDLR. And they refused. So I kept asking why they would refuse. I told them, just be with us, we will do the work of dealing with them. Little did I know they wanted to preserve them. But in the end, later on in these arguments, I said, when they started firing across our border, I told him that that is enough invitation. I told the president of Congo that while initially I was seeking invitation and to work with them to deal with our problem, actually firing artillery across the border into our territory is sufficient invitation. That statement still stands. If there is ever, we have been keeping quiet about some things, violations, and again, when you see the statements everywhere saying, the territorial integrity of Congo must be respected. I totally agree. But so must Rwanda's territorial integrity be respected. And respecting territorial integrity is not just by a soldier putting foot on the ground on that territory. It's what you send to the other territory as well, even standing on your own. If you fired artillery shells across the border into Rwanda while you are in Congo, you have violated the territorial integrity of Rwanda. That's the interpretation. I don't know of any other interpretation. So, I gave you more than you wanted or expected, but I thought I needed to really do this. So be clear about it. When you see things happening, you just know. First of all, we are not going to engage in skirmishes that could have been avoided. We are not going to violate anybody's sovereignty or territorial integrity. Will be respected, but we so much demand that that happens in our case as well. And so people can, along the border, can go to bed at night knowing they have security for them to sleep all night. Short of that, will make somebody else spend sleepless nights. Thank you very much.